Evening all, thanks for coming on. First photo you can see, nice bit of camouflage. Nature at its best, isn't it, eh? Obviously it goes stand like that for a while. But good one. How did you meet your husband? I'm a pharmacist. Came in to buy condoms, asked for extra large. Long after we got married, I realised that he stutters. Brilliant. You've got to have a lot. Well, I got it. Right, Kathy sent me this. It should have gone on the Zoom last week, but I forgot to put it on. Apologies, Kathy. But that was a worm wheel winnings, mycorrhizal fungi. Right, also from last week, do you remember that show I went to and saw the Shire Rosses, borrowed some of their muck? Well, the dollop I had or picked up, that would have taken yonks to dry out, so I separated it. And within a day, it was nice, solid chunks. So I can either break that up by a finger and thumb, small pieces, or bung it through the shredder. Still in the process. This is one I missed. I should have put this on last week's and all. This was, if you remember, I was at the Black Country Museum, dressed up like an old chap in the garden, with my waistcoat on and my scarf. And I made a belt out of string, and this was sisal. This is and I've plaited 3 pieces there together, stretched it and tied it, and that was my belt. That was like that overnight, and then I just undid it on next morning, put it on as a belt. Perfect. That should have gone last week and all. I'll bring it up now, just in case I do forget. Steve Chambers, he's been on a while. One of the first Zoomers. On his daughter messaged me this afternoon, and they lost him last week. I wonder why he went on the Zoom last Sunday. He was worse than me. He speaking his mind and cussing.
Oh, what a shame.
Oh, but I wonder where he was last week. But if anybody's got a drink in their hand, if you ain't, just say cheers, Steve. Cheers, Steve boy.
Cheers, Steve.
He'll still be watching, moaning. He's a good lad. Still watch the Zooms up there. Right, this is just to show you, this is full sun, meaning the roof I've got on it, it just keeps that shadow there so the sun doesn't get directly on the shots, which are drying out, and my onions. Otherwise, they may move somewhere else. Looking closely on my gladdies again. Open them up, some are hiding in there. Just squashing with your finger and thumb, or tread on him, but you've got to look all over. Right, these, like you see, these are drying. They doing no more growing, so they've got to come up. There's Russian, needs a bit more manure off one of my beds, because I've took all my front cages down. So he's getting better though. Right, I've lifted all these with the hand fork. Obviously, there ain't going to be no rain for a bit, so I'm all right anyway. But these are going to dry out well and not take too long. Right, Colin mentioned his grapevines last week. My left one there, as you can see, he's tying in. This was early last week. There should be a photo on later on when I've tied him across from at the top. So I'm still taking out any side shoots off the leaves itself and any little hands that come out to hang on, same as runner beans. I want all the energy going into that front bit. I want to get the length ready for next year. There we are. So he's just about reached that top, but he's got to come bend this way a bit, because you can't take him up there and straight across there. You've got a chance of him snapping. So you've got to come across. My first tie will be about there. Cumberland Brandy, got this down again. I'll give this another couple of weeks. See if it's clear. No, he still ain't clear enough. So it'll go back in again. And I've got this other one down. Sultana rum. This is a good one. Check early June. So this one should be okay. First time I did this and bugged it in the show, I was fighting over it. And I put stars by him, the ones people like. So look at him, clear as a bell. That's how it's supposed to be. Obviously a load of gump on the bottom, but you get that every time. And picking these up from where I'm brewing, you've got to be careful, not to bang this, bringing it down upstairs, downstairs. So usually I'll bring this down the evening before I want to rack it. So that's the evening before I do this. So if I do unsettle it just a tiny bit, then it'll settle again overnight. So I've got the kitchen to myself. I've got all my bottles, they've been sterilised. And I've got a little glass there, beaker, just to try it. It's no good filling them up if it tastes crap. Until you taste it, you ain't got a clue. But it tasted superb. So let's start filling, see how many we can get out of. Obviously, as soon as you get close to the bottom, you've got to tip it on edge. So it's base of that demi jar is like that. I want to get as much wine out as I can, which I've done there. And I've got 4 bottles out. And luckily I didn't drink all that. I would have liked to have done. But luckily that lot can go in there now to fill him up. Judges who judge wine, they like to see wine up to the halfway up the neck.
Wouldn't you just like the judges do 3 and you keep drinking out of
I've bunged him in and I've still got a drop for the gaffer. Tried it on them. Earlier on, before I start racking off, my corks are in there with water. And that is just weighing them down. So all the corks are underwater and they will absorb that water. So when my corks do go in the bottles, they will dry the bottle. So these taken off. Them corks are put in different colours. You can't get these now. These are the last ones I've had. I think they're all black now, but they used to be black, red and white. And some of these differ in sizes. So before you get, well, when you do get the bottles out, I try the corks first off. And if they're, I know they're going to go in, then that's what I use. But I think the corks now are just black tops. Right, have a look. This is obviously getting ready for the show again. So I'll get our schedule out. Homemade wines. 3 reds, 3 whites, sweet, medium, dry. Obviously I've got to taste him. See which category he comes under. So between me and Lynn having a taste, we said he comes under medium. It's not sweet and it's not dry. And you can see it's red. I've got the name on it first, so that's what we're going to come under. So them lot go with the rest in the garage. All done, gals. This was last week's match. Oh, don't look at Brenda's drawers on the line. I'm just looking at me Delphiniums. Because these have been splattered. Well, I've had the best out of them, and the rain always splats them, and the winds, because we're on top of it all. It don't matter how many stakes you put in or tie them. When these get wet, the weight of them, you can't tie every individual bloom up. So they've gone past the sell-by date, so I've taken the lot up. I've done this for the past 2 years. As you can see, if I zoom in there, there's new growth coming already. So it's been coming through, which is basically telling me you've had all your goodies out the top lot, take them off, feed me, and I'll start again. So that's what we're doing. As you can see there. Whatever I do cut off, I always leave a good stem on top. I never cut down to soil level, then I know there's something there. It's especially with little things which are out here. So the times I've dug something up, which is obviously a later plant, he'll come into flower later on. But if you always leave a stem on, then you got. So I'll just get him a good feed and a good water, and that'll kickstart him again. Come on to him later on as well. Right, these sweet peas this year, there's things I've had this year, and it's the best I've ever had. And in Scotland, have the name of him, but that's the best he's ever been. And I think there's only 2 sweet peas in here, like the main of them down by the patio. I've had to tie them up, and I've got to tie these up as well. I don't see them hanging over here. So I extended 2 canes, 2 lots, tied them together, and I just wedged the bottom cane right up against that concrete post, and that one up against that post, and then just tied these together. And I've got a wire going on the back anyway, and those are just tied loosely up against that wire, so he ain't going nowhere basically, because he's wedged in the base of them 2, and that is just for these to climb up. And they've covered that now as well. So I've got to think of something next year. Either put canes up against these posts, and then put a plastic wire mesh. But that's next year anyway. Right, raised bed, which is in the middle of the lawn. Nice bit of colour now. I'm still deadheading and looking, and I saw that little chap there. Let's zoom in on him. I said, I recognise him, and he ain't a flower. So I got him up and composted. Along with my other little bits, I'll break them up finger and thumb. Now this goat muck, I've had it for a while, and as you can see, there's lumps on it which have dried up, but not completely. Just breaking these open, obviously the lumps are size there that are too big to break up by hand, and just break it open, and it's still chocolate worms, meaning the inside is still nice and moist. So first thing I did, got all them out. I'm gonna crush them up, put them in with the mix, and then crush the rest of out. Oh, Keith, he's got a good dollop for us tonight. Are you ready, mate?
Yep, ready when you are.
Thank you, sir. All yours.
Right. I went to the Hampton Court Palace Flower Show, it was a couple of weeks ago, and this is from middle of the, this is the Long Water, and that's Hampton Court Palace in the background. It's on 34 acres of land, and basically running down the middle is the Long Water with the fountains, and they put the pontoons across. There's about three pontoon bridges across, so they've got sort of half the show, just under half the show one side, and the rest the other side. So it is a lovely, when it's sunny, absolutely beautiful, you know, sitting on the side of the Long Water, having a rest, keeping cool. You got the next one, Mick? Yeah, that's just another one. Sitting, you can see, I'm just on the near side, that's pontoon going across. That's the far side, but it is, as they say, the biggest flower show in the world, and the beauty of it is it's so open, you can get space if it gets too hot, crowded, whatever, and you can buy stuff, which is really good. Another one down, fountains, absolutely wonderful. I mean, it's a beautiful day, and you know, you can sit down on the edge, have a picnic, do whatever you like, and no hard fast rules, and yeah, very pleasant day. Next one, Rick.
Is this a 3-day event, Keith?
No, it goes Monday, Tuesday is RHS members, then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They used to have a preview afternoon, evening with fireworks and music and everything, but they didn't have that this year, I understand. But but it's a 6-day event.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I would imagine some of the nurseries, especially this year, were struggling a bit at the end of the week with some of their displays.
Yeah.
But it's a good day out. Right, they have the RHS marquee, which is huge, and a show opens at 10, and I get in at 10 o'clock, and first thing I do is go up and down the big marquee a couple of times before it gets really crowded. This was just one of the cacti displays, which was pretty impressive. Next one, Mick. There's another one, quite nice, with the Jubilee, with the crown and everything. They've done quite a good job. Got a gold medal, so they were very pleased. But there were 2 or 3 cacti nurseries there, and they were all pretty impressive. Thought you might like this one, Mick, Bougainvillea.
Oh,
Superb display, lots of different colours, lots of flower. As I say, the good thing is you could just go to the sales table next door and pick up young plants, bigger plants, and take them home. And the thing is, you don't have to carry them around all day. They've got 2 or 3 marquees where you can drop your plants off, like crates, drop your plants off, pick them up at the end of the day. And if you don't want to carry them, they've got hard-working students with wheelbarrows who wheel them to the car park for you. So not bad. Next one, mate. Bonsai. These always amaze me. They were stunning, the bonsai there. Absolutely beautiful. And they were selling, young trees to work with, slightly older ones, but all very good. Next one, mate. Yeah, that was an interesting one. It was planted in sort of a curved bit of a tree trunk, which was, quite impressive. And a lot of work gone into that. Very clever. I thought that was really quite good. Next one, mate.
Looks like a lion's head.
Yeah, it really was. It was right in the middle of the display, and it was. I mean, it's not tiny; it's quite big. And as I say, somebody with a bit of imagination has done that. Very good, very good. Okay. Lilies, yeah. I mean, you knew you were coming too close to the lily stand. The scent was unbelievable, and just hundreds and hundreds of lilies in vases. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And the fuchsias, thought Colin might like this one. That's a ruling fuchsias from, I think, Wales. It was like a sort of a bandstand, a round bandstand. All the baskets full of flower, beautiful, really nice. Just little acers and pine trees. You could just about find anything and everything you wanted there to buy. So there's some nice acers. Orchid, it's so full of flower you can hardly see the leaves and the stems on that. And that was about 12-14 inches wide, 12 inches high, just absolute massive flower and colour. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Next one, mate. Oh yeah, some more. That's on the same stand. So again, just beautiful displays they put up. A lot of hard work goes into them. But I presume they've got a few hundred plants to choose from.
Yeah.
No, see, this was interesting. You're in July and you're looking at muscari and daffodils and tulips and all that spring. So they'd obviously kept them a little bit chilled and delayed, but all my spring bulbs have gone over. But it's quite clever how they've done it. It's a bit of a surprise to see those heucheras. Yeah, that was the Plant a Go-Go stand. I think they've been going for years. We got the heucheras and tiarellas and heucherellas. They're lovely. If you like coloured foliage in your garden, you can't beat those. They were really nice. as I say, plenty of them to buy as well. Quite a few hosta nurseries there doing different displays. Obviously not a mark on the leaves, everything pristine, and they done some interesting, you know, some of them in pots, some in the, you know, in borders, water features and everything, and they were very good indeed. That one. Which one, mate? Oh yeah, Cleveland's Nursery, sort of perennials and stuff like that. And they put this garden, you couldn't walk through it, you could look through, and whichever way you looked into the garden, it was full of colour. It's quite a picturesque. I wouldn't have minded something like that in my garden, but it was nice. It was quite impressive, that one. Oh, a bit more cactus. And that big one in the middle was about, that big thing, yeah, it was about 2'6" tall and about 1 foot diameter. They just seemed to have the biggest cactus ever, and that round one was like the size of a football. I mean, they were absolutely huge and as fresh as you can. All of them just about to come into flower. Obviously, well, they know what they're doing, and they were really good, but absolutely huge. So those two, that one there, the round one, and the one behind it, massive things. Yeah, that was the other end of his stand, all his succulents and bits and pieces. So they do have quite a variety. Oh, that's Cleveland's. Yeah. Oh, Alliums. Yeah, I know we were talking about Alliums the other week. Quite a few on display and different ways of displaying them. Some of them have them in pots and that with other foliage, and then I don't know, we might see it later. Some with just the actual stem and bulb. But they were big. They were, can't see, ambassador. They were beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Those very tempting to go. You could spend a fortune there. I managed to keep my hands in my pockets for most of the day. Yeah, another hosta nursery. Different way of displaying them with different plants. Yeah, Alpine Nursery, lots of little containers and troughs and gravel beds, so plenty there.
Nigel, got your hand up. Sorry, mate, missed that.
Keith,
Yes, Nigel.
going back to the Alliums.
Yeah.
What have they got them staged in? Because obviously the RHS won't let you use Oasis now.
No. They use a variety of things like moss and sand and anything they could get them to stand up in, mate.
Right.
It really was. I know there is this new floral foam that some of the Dahlia boys are using and struggling with, because it's got a weave on it that
you only get one shot at it.
Got a sort of a weave on it, and you have to use it. If you use it with the weave one way, it doesn't hold. The other way, you have to make a hole to put it in. But there's a number of different things. I know the sweet peas. I went to the sweet pea show a few weeks ago at Wisley, and they were using sand or sweet pea stems in their little vases. But there's a lot of people struggling with finding stuff that they can use, and it takes a lot longer to stage now than the old green Oasis.
Thank goodness for newspaper.
Yeah, newspaper. Yeah, pack it in.
Yeah. Okay, cheers.
All right, mate.
So the Nigel.
Just a quick one, Keith. Did you know if that was Hart's Nurseries, what was putting that stand on there with the Alliums?
Hart's Nurseries.
Yeah.
They were there, and I took pictures of Alliums from a couple, so I would have. Right. I most probably did get them, but I didn't take the nursery names, I'm afraid, Nigel.
I've got 3 of them ambassadors in my garden now.
Yeah.
And I paid £5 for one bulb.
Yeah, they were all that sort of price, you know.
But mine now, I'm just seed heads, and I was wondering if you could save the seed off them and grow more.
Sure you can. I don't see why you couldn't save the seed, because I've got some in my front garden,
Yeah.
and there was only one or two there a few years back, and now there's about 5.
All right.
So
I
I'm
might
sure
try
they
that.
do split or go from seed.
Yeah.
But
All right.
it'd be well worthwhile trying, saving some seed.
Thanks for that, Keith.
Yeah, no problem, mate. Yeah, I was just, yeah, foxtail lilies, they were pretty stunning. And again, there's alliums around that one as well. It's just the variety of plants is incredible. But they were beautiful. They're beautiful. Next one, Mick. Amaryllis. Standard. Now that, I think that was Jacques Aman's nursery. He's got a display of amaryllis at this time of the year and other stuff. They are very clever at delaying things or speeding things up. They were nice. Gladioli. Now I don't know where these would come from, Nigel, all these blooms, but there are hundreds of them.
They'll have been imported from Holland, I would imagine.
Yeah, but they just had basket after basket of gladioli. You can see lots of different colours.
Looking at the 2 varieties we've seen so far, Mount Everest and Banana Rama, it looks like this is probably pheasant acre plants.
Yeah. Next one, Mick. Another one. What's that? Las Vegas.
The smaller one, that one.
Yeah, can't see what that one is. What that one is. All at night.
At night. Not familiar with that one.
Yeah.
Nice in the
All right, then we went on to another one for you, Mick, the Alstromerias. Just lots of different colours, plants for sale. Weren't the cheapest. I was thinking of might buy 2 or 3, but they were up around the £9–10 for a smallish pot.
Yeah,
they weren't cheap, but I mean, obviously they grow. You know, they get bigger and bigger, and they throw so much flower and that. But that was again another nice stand. That white one at the front was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Really next one, Matt. Well, a few more, and that yellow one in the middle was nice.
Oh.
But you've spoilt for choice for colours, really, like that, you know.
Seems to be new ones coming out every year.
Yeah, they all keep.
New varieties.
There you go. That's not a bad display, is it?
Yeah, like them.
Yeah. Then they have a separate rose marquee, and there's normally 3 or 4 David Austin. Is always that's David Austin stand, just packed full of roses, and there just seem to be people walking and roses, just people walking out with roses galore. I mean, there was one in the corner by one nursery. There was 5 standards that were 5.5, 6 foot tall, about 2 foot diameter of the sort of old English type roses, and then there were 6 normal roses in pots underneath, and it's got sold, Mr. Smith sold. How he was going to get those home, I do not know. But that was about, I got in at 10 and I got to the rose marquee about 12. And Mr. Smith had spent an awful lot of money on roses very quickly. But they were stunning, absolutely stunning. The scent was gorgeous.
I could say it's them all David Austin.
Yeah.
They're beautiful.
Yeah. That's just another view, just down another bed. I mean, you can be just tempted to go to every stand and just spend your money, just buy plants. But that was, I don't know, I suppose you could call that a bonsai, but it was on a Acer stand, mainly Acers. But they got that on that, I thought it looked like a tree coming out the top of a very old volcano. It was that tree was about 3-4 foot tall, and it you can see all the what I presume are the roots of that tree coming down the outside, or the roots of something. But that was very well put together. I dread to think how long it's taken them to put that stand together.
Well.
I mean, it's amazing the amount of time they take to put those stands together. Next one, mate.
Don't forget, you're already 37 degrees in there.
Yeah, that's and another stand.
You see what I can't understand? Why, as adults, can't we take the temperature when, as a baby, you're 37 degrees?
Mark,
Muting, Mark.
got your mark on. Cheers, dude.
Right. Oh, another one of the Cape of the Muscari and bits and pieces.
Germans.
Next one, mate. Oh yeah, this is a picture of your Gloriosa, mate.
That's what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah, yeah. And there was they were selling little tubers of yellow one and greeny flowered coloured one, and that normal, which they sort of said was the more common one, the red one. And these orange lilies, or whatever they call them in the front, were gorgeous, beautiful colour. They just had you could buy. They just had you know, tables full of different weird and wonderful bulbs and tubers that you could buy.
When the fan does this, I think it just teases you.
Nerines and yes, the Allium stand mixed with
The Orchids always had the guard upside down, and we've still got it.
few nerines
Mark
on there.
Robinson. Mark.
I'm going to message you.
And then we had carnations.
I bet you can have it.
Right, just different colours, their own creamy white. Then we go more alpine flowers, just on sort of scree beds, very colourful. Right, next one, mate. Oh, calla lilies, they were very popular. They were flying off the shelf. Bloke was just restocking all the time because there's so many different colours. That obviously they got the size of the pots they were selling. I think they had about 3 of those in one of those pots. Made a gorgeous display. Next one, mate. Yeah, obviously yellow one. Beautiful. I've got a couple of those. I've got a red one and a yellow one I've had for a few years, and they do make a nice nice display.
Are those winter hardy, are they, Keith, or do you have to protect them?
Sorry?
Are they winter hardy?
Mine looked better today.
Mine are. Mine
she
stay in
said, I didn't feel like I got any
mine stay in
infection.
tubs, Nigel.
Well, that was getting worse, wasn't it?
Just tuck them up against a fence, and they seem to come through.
Okay, thanks.
Next one, Mick. What was that? Oh, right, these.
The chemical imbalance in you.
Oh, this was a little show garden on a musical theme with like a giant double bass and bits and pieces on it. So there was quite some interesting show gardens.
So I'm just ringing Mark.
Okay.
Mark, you got your mic on Zoom. You got your mic on. Yeah.
I'll have a look.
Okay, cool. Cheers, dude.
Right, that's right. But mandavillas, they were very nice and colourful. Climber, make a good pot. Lots of different colours. Next one, mate.
Nice.
Oh, that was a giant wasp. Wouldn't want that in your garden.
But you wouldn't.
And then they have these little, as you can see, sort of little raised bed allotments, they called them. This was just one where they'd made everything out of pallets and all that. And so some of them were schools, some of them were community centre type places. But I thought this was quite good. They got these little boxes and that they could grow in. Quite nice. Next one, Mac. And again, that's again another one. They just planted it up. So quite attractive. Next one, Mac. There's a more sort of traditional allotment style. They were about 4 or 5 meters long and a couple of meters wide. Well, there's that one again. I think they were struggling in the heat though. They were giving them, soaking them in the morning, and then they were drying out. Well, this one was quite nice, but there was something wrong with the crops, which I don't know if the next one, Mick, the next picture. Right, yeah, all those crops, you can do a close-up of them, Mick. They're all knitted. So somebody had knitted. There were beetroots, carrots, apples, pears, everything. They've knitted them all.
The carrot seeds are brilliant.
Yeah, it was really quite good, quite nice. Next one, mate.
Okay, Rosie. Forgive
Oh
me.
yeah, I fancied a new water feature, and I was getting very tempted, but I decided no, I wouldn't be able to carry it home. So I thought they would look quite nice on a bed like that. Lots of different ones to choose from. You could get water features, you could get summer houses, greenhouses, tools, accessories. Then they got a big clothing, art marquee, food, everything. That's one of there's a little show garden. Just from one angle. And then the next one, I think, Mick, is that's the other end of it, and it sort of went round the corner. It was a nice show garden. Oh, more hostas. Right, next one, Matt. All right, that's my fig tree. I've got them up against my garage wall. I've got 2 there. One, they were cuttings at the beginning of, they were taken last year, and they were about 12 inches high, and they've really grown. And I thought I'd grow them in pots, see if I could restrict them, get some fruit. There's a couple of small fruit appearing, but they're doing all right. They seem quite happy.
Are they the brown turkey ones, Keith?
No, one's Brunswick and the other one is Dalmati.
Okay.
Yeah, I have got a brown turkey, but he's only about 6-8 inches tall. I took him a bit earlier this year. So next one, Mick. Right, there's some potted fruit trees that I've got this year, and they're starting to produce a bit. There's a few apples on there, so I'll try and grow those as columns. I've got those. My son's bought those for my birthday. Brought me 3 apples, 2 plums, and a green gauge. So got a nice selection. So keep them in those pots for a couple of years and move them up a size.
Nice.
Next one, mate. Oh, that's a shot of them again. A few strawberries down the front. They're doing okay. Oh, I got some seed from a friend at the National Dahlia Society. Seed they'd taken from collarettes, and that one is obviously seed has got a bit of your poo variety in it, Mick.
Yeah.
It hasn't got the yellow round the edge, but that was quite nice. So I will keep that tuber for next year. That was quite good. That was its first flower.
I like the collarettes.
Yeah, nice. that was another one, but the inner collarette is a bit big, but that was quite a nice colour. You never know what you're going to get when you do the old mixed seed. So you get a lot of them were single flower. Now that one I quite liked. I like that. And beauty is, if you grow something from seed and you're keen to keep it, you can name it whatever you like. So yeah, I planted out 28 plants, and I got 5 collarettes, and all the rest have turned out to be singles. So we've just got, you know, plain singles, but they'll make good plants for borders and tubs, things like that. Plenty of flower on them. Oh, that's the honeysuckle that I gave you, Mick.
Yeah.
That's really quite good flower now. That's coming out.
How's it doing well this year?
Good, good. That was my
It's
purple
hated.
Solanum. It's really settled in. I thought it struggled, but I put it in the border and it's settled. It's really growing well this year. So that was just one of the flowers. That's a Butylon sun tense. I grew that from seed about 6-7 years ago, and I chop it down to about 4 foot every spring. I take it down by a third, and I chop it down to about 4 feet in the spring, and then it just throws loads of growth and is covered in those pale sort of lilac-y blue flowers. Very nice. And that's the white Butylon. That's more of a climber than the shrubby blue one. So that I've got that over my garden shed down the bottom. And that's just another picture of it. It really does grow quickly once it's got its feet settled. Those are my delphiniums with a pink rose called the Fairy climbing rose. Very small, tight cluster rose, smothered in bloom. Next one, mate. All right, that's one of my coleus cutting I took this year. That one is very, very short jointed, and as you can see at the bottom, just masses of growth. So I'm just seeing how I can do that one as a plant for later this year, see if I can get it into some decent shape. But it is so compact as in growth. I find it a bit difficult. Now that one is one that I've just been stopping it from going up. I just keep pinching the top out because I wanted all that sort of internal short growth to come out. And that was taken about 3 weeks ago. It's now doubled in size, and it's actually looking quite good. I potted it up into an 8-inch pot this afternoon, and from a 6-inch, it's gone from that into a 6-inch, and now it's gone into an 8-inch. It's final pot size, and I'll let it grow, and then I'll just keep pinching it out. I should get up to a nice big plant for Malvern, but that's one called Oxford Street. It's quite nice. Next one. That's just the top of it. Another one, I'm growing 2 of them. Pick the best one. You see, it's got quite a nice colour, and just I just, you know, hit them hard, stop them going up, get them to come sideways, then let them go, and you get some nice big ball-shaped plants. Next one. Well, that's one called Lord Falmouth, which I use in a hanging basket. Very sort of quite small leaf. If you pinch that out, it's a very quick grower, and you can get a good basket. One of those in a sort of hanging pot, 9-inch hanging pot, and you can get a real good sort of coverage down the side of the pots and get a ball out of that. That's quite a good one if you're looking for that sort of plant. And that's a seedling. I've sent some seed to try, and that's what I'm getting at the moment. It's I'm not sure about it. It just seems it's either sort of it's either got a variegation or it's got nothing. That's one plant in there. I do quite like the colour, but I wish it was a bit more variegated rather than just the plain darky chocolatey colour. But yeah, we'll persevere and see what we get out of it. That's a lot.
Brilliant, Keith.
No
Thank you,
problem, mate.
Keith. Thank you.
All right, pleasure. All I
Thank
would
you, Keith.
recommend, I mean, if you fancy a good day out at a flower show, Hampton Court is really well worth going to. I think you've been there, haven't you, Nigel?
Yeah. I can. My legs are still aching.
Yeah. It's certainly a tiring day.
Yeah.
It's well worth a visit. If you
Oh,
make
definitely.
it.
Brilliant. Cheers, Keith, mate.
Pleasure.
Right, let's go on the wheel. Now, do you like this new version, the colour, or do you want to go back to the older? It's all called new wins, ain't it? Whoever wins is going to say I like this. No, George, he's bloody beat you, Jeffrey.
The wheel ain't working on mine.
It's just gone round. Ain't you seen it?
No,
No,
Coming
can't
up on
see it,
mine
Nick.
either.
It's stuck on my name on the screen. Does that mean I won?
You can't see that going round.
no.
Crap.
It's
No.
on the big wheel, the picture that's got loads and loads and loads of names on it.
Yeah.
Well, I've stood at my end, didn't you, Jeffrey? You'll have to trust me.
Yeah, no problem.
And I'll sort that out for next week.
Somebody want a house?
Something else. Right, if you look closely, this is outside, looking outside Ben's window. You can see all them. We had a swarm. If you look in the sky, and you could hear them as well. There was hordes on them. So first thing I did, shut all the windows and doors. And they started opposite. And everybody's going up to them, checking the kids. I thought, Jesus. I know, chance in the middle and that they might attack you, but I thought, if they attack the kid, who's got to bloody go out and save them?
Is it have the flying ants?
No, it's a swarm of bees.
They won't
Alright.
sting you. When they're swarming, they don't sting.
But
They're just looking for a new
yes, there's always a first time.
home.
Do you know where they ended up? In the exhaust. They got somebody out, because I messaged two people I know who've got hives, and both their hives, all their hives were full. One of them had a number you could ring, and it just it alerts local people. Somebody come out within 40 minutes, and they collected them. And the last lot in the exhaust, they had to get the owner to go in the car to start it up to get the last lot out. There was that far wedged up the bloody hole. Her crapped herself. I think I crapped herself and all. But
That's
luckily
one hell of a backfire, isn't it? If that backfired.
Right, our general meeting. This is getting ready. Obviously, I have to organise. Well, not obviously, but I do organise the raffle, and I put a load of my own stuff in as well as raffle prizes. I found them two out. They might be obsolete by now. That was a fungicide. That was a super tops lawn weed killer. Put a job them ready. And our speakers was on the Falklands conflict, because it was the anniversary this year. As you know, earlier on, I think it's BBC One. I think they had a couple of programs of up-to-date stories on the Falklands, which I'm interested in anyway. There's always something you can learn, and there's always cock-ups in every war. That's the same as whatever. Well, when a war was a conflict, but they give you the cock-ups and everything. But because it was not garden related, we had a poor turnout, because these two are local and only cost about 80 quid, I think. That's why we got them. They're going to have a shock next year. One of his speakers is, well, I'm going to tell him yet. I've got to tell him at the committee meeting. because we lost our venue, meaning when we used to show at Wilson Hall, the venue was there, it was ready. All we had to do was go around early morning, put the stage in, set up. That was on Saturday morning. Now, because we haven't got a venue, we have to set up the day before, which is a Friday. This is putting our marquees up on the Cradley Town's grass pitch outside, meaning Friday was the day when I was getting all my stuff up, all my veg and everything. So now I've lost my time of preparing veg, and that was one of the things that made me give me plot up, because I know I can't do so much up the back garden. It's mostly fruit, gladies, and bits of other pieces, but that was the main reason. I haven't now got time to prepare veg on a Friday before the show, because we're getting the marquee stage and everything else. But so this is my last year doing onions and shallots. Obviously, I still do my jams, preserves and whatever. Right, if we go back on that one there, right, when these two are setting up, I thought that was a crap idea, because where I was sat, I couldn't see what was on there. Why you had to bloody stand there? You could have stood over there with his screen, and he rode up. If I zoom in on there, that little thing there, that flat thing, that was his projector. I couldn't believe it. I mean, that's come off his laptop. I says, where the bloody did I get that from? And I think he said it cost 150 quid. £150, he said, and there we are, 8-man DLP, whatever. So I've got to look into that.
On them 8-man, Mick,
Yep.
I've got 8-man wildlife camera, and it's absolutely brilliant. Over night time, it doesn't give no infrared glare out, but it will film in like daylight. And it was only about 35 quid. I got it off Amazon. But very good stuff, 8-man is.
Excellent. Have you heard of these before? These projectors?
Yeah, I've heard of the brand 8-man, the electronics company.
But I couldn't, when I said that, I thought, Gordon Bennett, I've got to get one of them. These are troops. Those of you, if I remember Michael Jackson, when he used to be on Bald Eddie Blow from over Rubery. These were his crowd. And every meeting we had, one of them won the bloody raffle on the way in, the trading some muck or something. And he won 3 times on the trot with his bloody raffle tickets. And the last one, he says, go on, get away. But I'm a good crowd. That's Mick up top, he's still looking at us. Right, I was getting low on compost again. So this is up Merrybonk or Brawleybonk. Plugs for plants. And this is how I get my clover compost off. So I ordered another 2 pallets. Obviously I got a good paying before, so we paid the chap. Nice weather, so I'll throw everything out. These are house plants. Give them a good feed. No wind about. But they got protection in the house anyway. I'm finally getting fruit on my raspberries. Them are doing well. Right, how I tie them, I've got a wire going back across the back of the cane. I put the string round them, as you can see there, and the knot itself, I spit on my finger and I wet that, pull that as tight as I possibly can. Then knot it again, and that will stop that from moving that road and that road. Because it'll, as it dries, it seals up, and that works. Right, this raspberry on the side, he ain't doing very well. And I've got a cane on the end anyway. I haven't got a planting, but he was just a cane to stake me wire from one end to the other. So I thought, well, I've got a shoot off the side of him, so I'm going to nick that shoot to go onto that one. And that one eventually can go up there. Utilize all your space, and the same this side as well. You've got 2 shoots off him, so I've nicked one of them, and you can go up that one. Just utilising all the space. You can see better there. So there's all my fruit trees, and they're still going away nicely. Right, that's me turning around and looking the other way. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 raised beds of gladdies. Then my straws. Then we're getting watered as soon as the sun's on these first thing in the morning. Sun comes up there, so they've got sun in the morning. As soon as the sun goes off, and I can water them anytime from then. And I usually do that with my little squeezy bottle and squirt on. Right, you know, tell which raised beds I've topped just for my compost because of the self-setters that are coming through. Tomato plants. Tomato seed, which is kept in the old. Still rubbing these out. This was down the shed. This would be last Saturday on. And all I'm doing now, yes, last Saturday, because I'm preparing. I want to take some more lengths home to do them at home, to do the work, and I'll put all the hinges and that on. All the compost out of there was moved into there, meaning we're going to have room here for them next 2 pallets. So that's not ready to take home, so I can get 2 more trestles out of them. So that's all cleaned up, swept out, and that's dry now. So that's all ready. I'll get 2 pallets of stuff in there. These 2, the clover compost that was down here, the bloody rats have got it. We've got rats underneath. We have got poison blocks down, but they go through these for us for some bloody reason. And this is mate Dougie, who took my plot over from me. As I mentioned before, I get it in because when I was in the mob, HMS Collingwood, which was my last shore base before I left the Navy, he was end up in a shore base, and he lived in the next road from Mother and Father. And I used to bring him up for a weekend. I used to hire a Ford Escort and come up, and you could get home in a couple of hours. Send a bloody 5 hours on the train. But his lad took it on, but he's doing quite a bit as well. He's chuffed to bigs. It says, Mick, come and have a look at these taters and his cucumber, his carrot. He is chuffed. Good on you. Taking the hound earlier in the morning now because these hot days. And there's a new mate has got. This one called get a haircut, is too young yet. Gordon Bennett. They've got to be 10 months or something before they can get a haircut. Right, that time of month, different feed, so liquid fish. Everything gets done with one of them. These lot, this don't show up properly, but the red on it is beautiful, and the size of the flowers, they seem to have got bigger as well. And the orange one right up the end of the garden is just starting to open up now, but I love them. And that yellowy one we got from the show is a Boston one and all. Straws, still pinching the flowers out. I want the fruit from the show, so I'm taking them out, composting them. The good thing about these, I water obviously the top ones first, then these, then I start again, and I do that 5 or 6 times, so I know it's gone all the way through. And the good thing about them, more them, they get the runoff from these 2 as well. More raised beds. I'm taking the tomato plants out. They'll be composted. The spare, and I put 3 in a large pot. This is a spare, and I put this in a tub for our little Aaron. He took that last Sunday. But I love these candles with variegated leaves, and the flower is a bonus. Love them. Right, still deadheading. Pull these off from the bottom, and you'll get more shoots coming out. if you just snap it off, you won't get a replacement. So put them right out from the bottom. So them lot I've chopped up with me kitchen scraps, drying me delphiniums off. As soon as one of these goes brown and the spurts open, then I'll take them down from somewhere where I don't lose them. Small fan I've got, that's into my plug socket until I get my other fan, my solar powered. I've gone there because it was outside, obviously always in the rain. It is enclosed in a with a damp. The moisture gets in, turns it rusty. And I found an old connection, some computer gummings, so I'm going to swap them over. Right, these lot are dried off. As you can see, all the nourishment has gone back into the exactly the same as well, anything, tulip, daffodil, anything. Nourishment has gone back into the plant, so they're not cut the top off. Rub all the skins off, unless they are on, which I can't get off rub easily. With these, there's no size, but we've got a class for 5 small onions, i.e. under 8 ounce. So I'm going to get 5 out of them. Well, I can get 5 out of them, but eventually I shall put them in size and shape. And all I want is 5. I'll get 10 out. I'll put 2 lots in. Put the money for the show anyway, just to make up the show. So them lot have dried out as well, which would be 8 ounce ones. So these are the small 8 ounce, which ain't going to come up to anything in them because I only need 2 out of them lot. And all the exhibition shallots, them are drying as well. These tops are dried off as well, so then they get topped. These have got one nice complete skin on. Right, my shallots, which are on the back here, I'm now rubbing them by hand. And the good thing about shallots, you get one complete skin and one colour all the way around. Beautiful. But everybody's in the same boat because they're going to get, what in our schedule is 12. Some schedules they ask for 6 or 9 if it's only a small village show, anything like that, to help people out. Andy mentioned last week about my pot and wall big enough in case we had a bit of wind or something, which he's got a point. So I thought, right, it's going to have a nose in the garage. Now he's well, probably twice as thick as him. He's still plastic, but he's got more meat on him, and he's wider and deeper. So I'm going to swap him, and he's throwing his first flower as well. And I needed a good photo tonight, but I haven't got time. I've been out all day. But it is a nice bright red. It is beautiful. Well, you'll see that next weekend, right? Right, like all my other pots, I'm going to make a base, cut him off to go inside because there's large holes on the bottom. Because these are going on the AstroTurf. It just so happened it had to be on top. I could have turned it down. What you want to? I'm just thinking of the plant. Right, going up to my bin, I've got all my gladies in here, my cormlets, which I've took cormlets from last year and this year, which are down this end. And looking at me fruit trees there, I've got 4 fruit trees down here, and they don't look very well. So I opened them up, squashed the little chaps that I'm on there. Any leaf that's folding up, it's telling you something's in there, and it's just protecting itself by closing the leaf around it. Just open it up and squash him. Right, taking the door off again because I've got to put up that canner, and I know they like compost. Put the worms back in. Now, because of the heat we're getting now, that lid isn't put on. there's the first seal. If I'd have pushed him over there, then that is sealed in. There's still air getting, but I'm just resting him on the top, meaning more air can get in, more circulation. And I've got a bit that's open a bit down the bottom as well. Look after the worms. So that's going through my compost, which I've just taken out of the bin, and I've took all the big lumps and the worms out and just put them in a tray there. So them lot in the tray, I'm going to upend that lot I've just had out of there. So they will now go back into my bin. And where I've took that compost out, I should push that down with a hand fork so that fills that void again. It fills a hole so it can start breaking down again. Still got 2 bits of carpet on, keep them carpet moist. Now the pot I'm using, that's been in the garage a while. I ain't too bothered about the inside. Although I did put boiling water on there just in case there was something on. What I'm doing is cleaning the outside of the pot because it's going to go on show. That's better. Just a bit of hot water, give him a nice clean. Right, I've got him out the original pot. As you can see where I potted him on originally. They've still got the paper on there, and that is keeping the, well, it's done its job. Stop that compost from coming out the holes. So add on, I'm gonna, this is goat muck dried, ruffled out, so I've mixed that with it as well. Put some in the base, then put my pot in. Once I've got to the level that I want, then all I've got to do is fill that outside, which I'm doing now. Once I've done it, I'll take that pot out, lift him out. He was watered 2 days ago, so this ain't going to collapse. He's got a few roots on anyway, so it'll come out nice and easy. And just lift him in one. Make sure he's upright. If he isn't, then upright him while he's in there. Just firm the one side to keep him upright. And now what I'm going to top dress with is my lumps of muck. This is rabbit muck mainly. And then I'll just rub them out by hand. So instead of putting straw on, just the straw and the rabbit muck, or the oss muck, because the hound nicks it. So I've just rubbed it all out. And that's harder for her to nick. And that's the reason for that. So I'll straighten them as best I can. Put the label back in. That's the colour on the label. But the colour he is coming out, as you'll see next week, he is a proper flame red. It's a corker. Obviously a good watering. He's got his feed in there. And you'll just see him there just coming through. And I think now I've got 3 flowers. 3 new Alstromera. There's my first one that's opened up. Now I've got a yellow one in there, so I've compared these two. And the other yellow one is very similar, but it hasn't got these blue blotches in the middle on these. That's the only difference I can see so far. Still a small flower. We'll also compare them later on and never knows. So these are 3 new ones. I bought these Alstromera, and these are supposed to be the dwarf, the bedding Alstromera, i.e. low. So far I'm mid, but we'll see how they go. Right, my old canes which kept me onions up, these have dried off, so them can be, these rings can be taken off and then can be stored away back in the shed, as we've done there. Then there's a couple of these bent, warped. They started off nice and flat. England, Norway. That was halfway during the week on it. Gordon Bennett. I've got to do. I'm still playing better than the blogs again. Look at this cheeky person here going out, and there's a snail there. I'll give him a lift as well to the green bin. cheeky person. Still collecting the nettles with a hound. And I'll get away now outside when the gaffer's doing something. I'm just getting flowers on my little taters when I bugged in Charlotte. Keep checking under the leaves because the little chaps will leave a deposit. I just get them off and I'll smash them up against the wall or something. Right, this is the end of my tunnel, back end of the garden. And this is the delphinium that's like a purpley colour. And he's just about at it now as well. So I've chopped a few of them off with the last one because the rains and winds splattered him as well. I've saved a few seeds off them. Well, this is Delph 1, so he's from the bottom left of the garden and going all the way around. Blackberries which are down here, new growth off them, and these tying up, which I've done. I'm using that watering can just to hold these up. He's got a bit of feed and water in there just to carry them to ticking over, i.e. growing and then going into seed, just in case I ain't got enough seed for everybody else, whatever. Of course, there I should have took one of them as well. This is one of them, the sweet pepper from Lee down South Wales. He had some decent heavyweight pepper seed. I'll take a photo next week, but I've got some corkers on him. And there's my bonsai, bougainvillea. It's a thought I'd lost, but he come back, never bugged nothing away. This is a feed out of John Murphy. When I stopped off, met him. He gave me some of these. There's the blue and the normal feed. So give him a change again. Thank you, John, mate. Now you show the flowers on my raspberries. Then they're growing up. Right, my first bed of Gladys. He don't look very well. So he's coming out. Okay, I think that was the Russian one. I can clear him off anyway. He's Russian. I've got a few more Russians going. Say that. Yeah, I ain't sure what this is.
Snapdragon.
Anti-rhino, yeah, Snapdragon.
Oh, well, them nice, ain't they?
It's a Snapdragon, yeah.
He was a self-setter from years ago. No, I've just left him. But it's just different colours. Something different. Might take some seed off him. Right, me cormorants from last year and cormorants from this year. Plus, I think there's 6 pots in the greenhouse of this year's cormorants as well. Exactly the same as the raised beds because they're in pots. The raised beds drop down through the rain, and these do as well. Well, through rain and watering. So all I'm going to do is top dress all these with more compost. The soil I've had out the garden for putting new plants in. I'm taking all this lot here. I'm taking all the crap out, which is the bulbs or any small stones, pebbles, whatever. Binning them, and then the rest of it, which is obviously topsoil, which I'm using as. I'm putting that in. Then I'm using clover compost as well, rubbing that out. There ain't many lumps in there. And I'm just rubbing out some goat milk as a feed. Mixing all that up in an empty compost bag. Now they will be, because you can see that one there, that's dropped down about 3.5, might be 4 inches. But the good thing about this as well, with me top dressing to the top, obviously I'm going to put him upright and then firm him in using this. So I'm also helping them to keep nice and straight and upright. So I've took all the weeds out of him, if there's any in. Nigel, mate.
That streaky one in there, Mick, I'd get him out as well.
Which is that one?
One on the right hand side that's leaning with a variegated leaf.
Him?
Yeah. Something
I'm
wrong
going
with
to take
him.
a photo of him now.
Virus in him, I think.
Is there?
Yeah.
Right, I'll do an autopsy on him during the week.
Well, you probably won't find it because it'll be in the corn, but
Ah.
if you leave it in there and you get any sort of green fly flicking about and things like that, they'll transfer it to others. So
Excellent. Thank you for that, Nigel.
don't worry.
That's why we're on here, to learn. So them lot, nice and upright. Next one. Of singular beauty, these. I was chuffed with these. These were the cormorants from last year. What's that one? That's prim but mixed. So get all the crap off there, which I have done. Top dress again, and holding them upright. These are all the others in the greenhouse that you can see. Obviously, them was the last lot of my cormorants that I put in. So all them have been top dressed. So they will now get a good watering. What day was this? Was this Thursday or Friday? Black Country Day. This was down our zone. Luckily they picked our zone. Our Ben was at all. He'd well, they'd asked him to come up because they'd done a poster for him. The Mayor of the West Midlands. He's done a poster for them for the Commonwealth Games. He's done a poster for the railway network, you know, the tram. He's done a lot of stuff. Anyway, he's done one here, but he had to hand it over personally to the Mayor of Dudley. So they wanted him there. We've got 2 radio stations there. So he's just giving them a spiel there. That radio WM. He was the gaffer who organised it all. That was another radio station, Black Country Radio. So let's get another interview there. And luckily, I took over this shop. Well, it used to be a shop. I don't know what it is now. But that was their office. The gaffers who was in charge. And they was dishing out faggots and pains. But the wenches that was in there were Black Country. So I says, have you got any grow to dig? And says, oh, it's in there. I said, that's faggots and pains that I grow to dig. I says, where are you from? He says, not around here. I said, I bloody noticed. But I had 2 of them because I was free. I'm all right for them free, ain't they? Then the Mayor wanted a photo took with me, so I said, get on then. Come on then, hurry up. And then Des come. I said, come on then, Des. I've got a meeting later on. He's a good lad, Des. He does our weather on Central News, if anybody don't know. But between brother Pete, he sent Des a few photos which they have on the weather forecast. People send a good photo and he sent it quite a few in. And I was in 2 minds whether to go up to Des and says, I've sent you a few photos, pretend I was our kid. But I couldn't do it, I'd have busted out laughing. Oh, Peter gave me a bollocking anyway. But then on the night when he got home, this was on Central News. See if this comes out, might be too quiet. Crap. Basically, he's asking about it because got Tipton twins, well as everybody, Noddy Older and everything Black Country. Plus, what he was asking was, there's Des doing the weather. He's pointing to the map. I played this earlier on. I got there's Wiley, the tennis player, Jordan Wiley. There's our Des. I've got the story on this one. I played it earlier. But in the end, Ben asked him to say something to them, and he said it. It was really bloody cool. He said, of course I say that on TV, but he did. Right. I'm going to try that again. Still a bit quiet, but we got it. I did a talk. Where was we? Thursday, just gone. Sutton Coldfield, Fuchsia and Gardening Guild. This was obviously in Brum. Did a talk there. Good turnout of people. Loads of things going on. People bringing loads of stuff in. Talk was on compost, so I set up. I always then go and have a nose round. Obviously, I bought that lot for the gaps I've got. I've always got gaps. Well, both borders going up the upper side underneath. Especially now I've cut the delphiniums back because they was overtaking everything. So I bought them back on all. And they enjoyed it that much. Just go on then, show us the appreciation. And then booking me up again. Always a good sign. Right, I was down the shed again Saturday 12 till 2. And I managed to get Lol. He's a good lad. He knows a man with a van or a wagon. And managed to do the delivery while I got the trading sheds open this Saturday, yesterday. You get one pallet on by splitting it. So one go. So we dropped that off. And then he legged it away again to get another pallet. And for the second pallet, Craig come in. That's him who does the honey with his bees. That's him who's got the he uses it, the snake and the rat muck. Showed you his grapevines. He's doing more with his stuff. But he gave us hand to empty the second pallet. And coming back, Lol brought 6 cans of ice cold beer. So that was yesterday. That went down the tree. So that's them lot in. Not stacked up solid again because I couldn't get a 3 pallets in. So we got 2 in and we filled the other container as well. And then went home to eat some more trestles. While I was down there, borrowed some more wood chip. So the hound had a field day going through that lot. Kept it quiet for a bit. I see Andy down the plot. He come down and give me a chrysanthemum. So that's my first chrysanthemum I'm ever gonna. Well, my first one I've started off with. So getting into them as well. And you also give me a wine and beer book. Asked if I wanted it. I said yeah, I'll have a nose. Because anything that news comes out, new methods, then I'm going to give them a go. And I've been through that already. Because Lowell, when he gave me that can of beer down the plot, by the time I got home, I thought, right, I'm going to have me a rest. So I opened another can, I went through his book, and I found some old recipes in there, which obviously they've done with the wine as well. Cheers for them, Andy. Right, this was this morning. Friends of the Earth. If you remember, a couple of weeks ago, I went to a talk down Starbridge about well, it was a film show about soil, the earth, basically, from the States. And these lot I met there, they put this film show on. And at the end, I went to one stage because none of them got a clue. I just told them what I was doing. And they was unimpressed. I says, can you come down and give us a talk here? And there's loads of people on during the day. It'll probably be clear as mud. But it started at 11 and it goes on till 4. And it started off just 10 minutes each, different people on different subjects. And mine was 1:45, my slot. So I had to listen through some, basically those eco warriors. And they still got a dress on when he was a hippie in the 50s. But Gordon Bennett. I took my books and my cards just in case anybody was interested. But I'll put up with it. He was a good one. Now the repair shop, the one that's on the TV, that started in Holland, which I don't know, and it's clicked on and moved everywhere. But these Starbridge Repair Cafe, it's called, and there's loads of these all over the place now. And it's a similar thing where you can take your stuff which is broken, needs mending or whatever, to them, but they do it themselves. I mean, the repair shop, they spend hours on them. They must have a bucket full of money. These lot have to use odds and ends and just repair broken stuff. Wasn't that brilliant? All voluntary. But I'd give him the biggest clap, everybody was there. And there was one councillor on, and then I clicked on. That was all Labour councillors. I think there was 4 there. They was gobbling off about the Tories on that subject. So when I wanted to talk, I says, right, I voted Tory last time. Am I ought to carry on or jump to? I thought I was there. Anyway, no. Nobody bought a book. England yesterday. I usually watch all these, but them on Sky, ain't they? And I ain't got Sky. But this morning I had a spare 8 minutes, so I just got the highlights on the internet. And that's free to look at them. But Smithy, the young lad, that run he had, anybody who's seen it, brilliant. Right, talks coming up. This one, Monday, 25th of July. House Tree Gardening Club, that's a week Monday 8. This is in Derby. So I don't know whether you're on tonight. Colin. I know he was on the wheel, but he's been quiet. I thought he might have come on when Carlis was on, and Keith. But I've got some stuff for Colin, so en route I'm going to drop your stuff off. So I'm going to message you anyway. We'll be talking Derby. That's my next one. The one after that is Raised Beds, Thursday 28th of July. This one it is in Grimsby. Really miles away. 3 hours. Gordon Bennett. That's a B&B. Talking of a night on the ale. Then Raised Beds and No D. This is Tuesday 2nd of August. This is in Ashley and Loggerheads Garden and Nature Club. Nature Club, I've got to wear anything. Has anybody been to a nature club before? I've got the right club. As long as they pay me, I couldn't give them up.
Oh, you're practicing tonight, Mick, are you?
I am. I'm developing. I dare not get up. But that one's near Market Drayton. And that's it, people. That's it for tonight, anyway.
Cheers, mate.
Colin, are you on tonight? Colin?
Yeah.
Of course, Ian. How do I get all them on there? I don't know how to open this up with what's it here?
He's not listed as the participants anyway.
Hey, is it not?
No, he's not listed. There's only 12 participants.
I'd have thought it'd come on when
there's no
Keith
Colin.
showed all his washes. I don't know how to get us lot on the front again.
So at the bottom of the screen says participants. Just click on it. It's on the bottom of my screen anyway.
Well, I've just clicked on that and it's just giving me the names.
Yeah, will it tell you whether he's on or not?
No, they usually, we all come up on the front, don't we? All of us.
3, 6.
Right.
What you putting on, Suzanne?
I'm not. I'm just cutting the leaves off the bottom of my peppers
Oh,
because every time I water them, the leaves are getting all wet. So I'm just cutting the leaves off. Whether I should or not, I don't know. But I'm doing it.
Mick, I've got a question for you. It's regarding your wine.
Yes.
You've got it stored in bottles standing upright. Yeah?
Yes. Yep.
You store them upright, so therefore the cork can dry out.
Yep.
lay them on the side.
You're meant to lay them on the side so the cork's wet.
Andy, have you got your teeth in?
Have we got what?
Have you got your teeth in? Yeah.
They're all my own.
I tried that once down the old house, but I couldn't store them easy enough. I mean, the amount I've got to do that, I'd need the kids' bedroom or some spare bedroom.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get away with it with a missus.
Yeah, no, it's all right. It's just that
you
get too much oxygen in, can't you? And the cork can actually shrink.
That's why you go halfway up the bottle of the neck.
And that's why you put them on the side, so the cork's moist and fills the space better.
There ain't much of that oxygen left in there, though, is there?
Well,
I mean, it's only just over a year that it's going to last. But I've never had a problem. Because if there's any... I check them 2 weeks before the show anyway. If there's any debris on the bottom, I empty them out slowly.
Yeah.
Wash that bottle out, clean it, and then pour it back in again. So it is nice and clear anyway.
If I can recommend one wine, try tomato wine.
Tomato?
It's lovely. It's like a white wine. If you chill it, it's perfect. It's really, really good.
Have you got the recipe?
Yeah.
You got the recipe for it?
Yeah.
Never heard of that, right?
Oh, it's really,
I
really
think
good.
Mick's saying he wants it.
Yeah, I don't mind. It's in a book I bought in Malvern anyway, so I'll send it to you.
Oh. How's everybody doing anyway? With this weather?
I'm outside.
It's going to be. Well, they said it's going to be.
Are you
41
outside,
tomorrow.
Nigel?
Yep.
You cool, dude.
Today here, midday today here was 40 degrees, and tomorrow's meant to be 42.
Yeah, 42 where you are. Bloody hell.
Tomorrow it's supposed to be 42.
Here it's meant to be 41.
Today was 40, and I went down to the allotment just to have a look. You couldn't get into the polytunnel, so I covered it with green mesh. Everything was still going good, but
Oh.
Just going to stay in.
Suzanne, did you cuss then? I think I did, you know.
Yeah,
let's take it over from Steve Chambers.
I'm
Go on,
outside,
Bennett,
look.
Nigel.
Yeah, actually, while I'm here, I'll show.
I bet you got a pint of beer there and all of you.
I'll just show Keith that ambassador seeded now. Here it is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
I think you just leave it on there, let it dry, Nigel.
Yeah.
And just keep an eye out because there'll be little black seeds in there. When they open, just cut it off. You know, when one of them starts to open, just cut it off, put it in a paper bag.
Yeah, so I've got 3 of them like that. And
yeah.
I mean, if I can get them together, that would save me a load of money.
Oh,
and they're only onion seeds, aren't they?
Yeah.
Only onion seeds.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm the hybrids, you know, or what?
Don't know, mate.
Because I was wondering if
Cheers,
it comes
Nigel.
from seed.
Yeah, mate.
See you, Nigel.
Bye, Al.
Cheers, Nigel.
Yeah.
I think you would get, you know, if they're viable, you'll get something off them, Nigel.
Yeah, I'll give them a try this year and,
Yeah,
and
might
so
as well.
I'll sell them for £1 rather than £5.
Yeah,
I'll get a stall up next door to Hearts at Malvern.
yeah, they'd love you.
Have you got any other alliums near them?
Over the other side of the garden, I have.
I mean, that they could cross-pollinate with.
Yeah. What I might do actually is chop the seed off and put it in a paper bag.
Yeah.
And
Just put the plant in your bedroom, Nigel. If Paul can get away with it, all the way up his stairs, banana plants.
yeah. And I'll end up sleeping out there. That's the problem.
Hello.
Andy Wright. Yeah.
What was that,
Andy Wright.
Jeffrey?
Andy Wright. Does
Yeah.
he, you know a bit about Phalaenopsis?
I know a bit about Phalaenopsis.
Well, could you kind of give a kind of presentation how you put them on? Because mine are going too high from the root and
They always try and climb out of the pot, don't they?
Yeah.
They always try and
I've
climb
had them
out
about four years now. And they're
in
about,
the same pot.
yeah.
Right. About 2 years at the most normally in the same pot. And it's bark.
Yeah.
What you do is the bark breaks down after a couple of years, starts to break down, and you don't, and then you'll get rotting of
Cheers,
the
Keith.
roots.
Take it.
Cheers.
Hello, mate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
So what you do is you'll take it out of the pot with fresh, you know, you get your fresh bark, and you'll have a good look at the roots, and you'll trim off any roots which are dead, basically, which are brown.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you'll put it in the pot and you'll put, you know, put the bark all around it.
Yeah, but I've got them with roots about a foot long. Do I
Yeah.
leave them or cut them, or do I put them into the pot?
Well, you're not going to get all those in the pot, are you?
yeah,
I mean,
they
what
are
you're doing,
roots.
you don't really want to cut too many of the roots off. You think about how Phalaenopsis grow in the wild, in Singapore or something like that, near the tops of trees. So they're in dappled shade. 2 or 3 in the afternoon, the heavens open, yeah, and the rain comes down, and it hits the plants and it runs down the stems of the tree. Those roots that you've got that are climbing out of the pot, they're silvery when they want watering. As soon as you've watered them, they turn green. In the wild, what they do, they grow upside down. So you'll never get water in the crown of the plant. Never.
Okay.
We put them the other way up. So they always try and climb out and turn upside down.
Yeah, three of the 12 I've got are doing that now.
Yeah.
So I said,
So if you get water in the crown of that plant, you'll kill it. Yeah. But you think how they grow in the wild, top the trees, the dapple shade, it's moving about. Any water that comes, the roots absorb it just like blotting paper to hold on to it. And then the roots are green. If the roots are green, it doesn't need watering. When the roots go silvery, it'll want watering.
I water them. Well, I dunk them. I always, every Monday, I take them all, put them in 2 sinks I've got, and top them up with lukewarm water and a little bit of what's it called, liquid seaweed, and I put them there just about an inch below the edge of the pot.
Yeah.
I leave them there 10 minutes, take them out and put them back in their glass pots again.
Yeah. If you get a plant in the pot and you scoop it into the water, lift it up, and what happens is the water runs through, and as it's running through, it's drawing oxygen to the roots.
Yeah.
Do that a couple of times, and what you're doing, you're flushing anything through there, but you're drawing oxygen all around the roots of the plants.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, but if it's been in the same pot for 4 years,
Yeah.
that bark will have started to break down, and it'll be more like soil.
Yeah, that's
you're
it,
not
because
getting
it's
the
like
oxygen to
halfway anymore.
Yeah, you're not getting the oxygen to it.
What size pots are they in, Jeffrey?
The original ones they came in.
What's them like? 6 inch, 8 inch, or 25 centimeters?
8-9 centimeters. And about, let's say 12 deep. And
9 centimeters.
yeah,
That's
across.
only 3.5 inch pot.
Small
Yeah, I think so, yeah. They're the pots you kind
That's
of buy
cool.
them in. And everybody that gets them, they say they don't, it takes too long a time to reflower. So they all give them to me, but they all reflower in about
So
7 months. Every
so
7
4
months
years,
they
4
flower.
years. Have you grown them as bonsai or what?
No, look, I'll show you, hang on.
Is it that size, Jeffrey? Because that's the size that mine come in.
He's run off. Nigel's upset him.
You got to come back with a plant.
Got to get his bonsai.
But you can get, your bark can be too fine. So you want a reasonably coarse bark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get them clay pebbles as well, can't you? I read on
You can do them in the clay pebbles, yeah.
Yeah.
But the
That's what I'm going to
pots,
get for mine now.
These are the little
pots are
pots.
clear. And
Yeah.
you can see the roots inside the pot. And you don't want to see any algae in there because it's too wet.
Yeah.
If you look at the leaves now, sorry, the roots,
Yeah, look, that's a root.
are they silvery now?
No, they've just been in water.
Right, so they'll be green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Lift him
still,
up, Jeffrey. Let's have a nose.
Them are aerial roots like off a rubber plant.
Well, think about it, they grow at the top of trees and they hang on to the plants like that with those roots. So when it rains, the water runs down the branch and the roots absorb the water.
I saw that in a documentary, said, okay, but then when I watched a YouTube film on how to repot these, they said, shake it all off, rinse it all off, all the woody bits, chop about halfway, there's a stem under there, like a piece of stem under the roots, then cut them off to where it is and put it in. I said, I don't know about this. So I said, I'll ask Andy if it's on.
What's the
Nurseries, there'll be videos and all that about it. It's if you look at it, you'll see what they do.
Yeah, and
it looks quite brutal at first.
Yeah, it does, because they say just take it like, let's say, I can show it. They say cut off to, these are the roots. They say cut it off to there and put it back into the pot. Now,
that's been a good man.
Cut it off to here, because the roots are here. So cut it off under there and bung it back in there. In new bark. I said,
they don't like standing in water. So a lot of people, what they'll do, they'll put moss in the bottom and that holds onto the water too much. So the roots will then rot. The other thing that they can't stand is any fertilizer with urea in. That will kill them. Urea. They can't process it.
I just use seaweed-based liquid seaweed feed.
Yeah, make sure they haven't got urea in.
Yeah, okay, but they've done,
because they can't process it, and you'll get a build-up of salts in there, and that will kill them in the end.
Yeah.
Andy, can you use any type of bark when you pot them on?
It's a specialist bark. I've got just hang on a bit.
Yeah.
gone through the tiger's eye.
Nigel, you're upsetting him tonight, you
He just walked through that tiger's at him.
I don't know.
You go on
Yeah,
Amazon,
like-
it says on it, orchid bark.
Orchid focus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what I use. I've got a couple of bags of this, you know, and it's reasonably, it's not too fine. If it's too fine, you don't get the air to the roots, the oxygen. All you got to do is think how they grow in the wild.
Yeah.
At the tops of trees. They can never stand in water.
Okay. That's my job for the week.
My husband always says, look at how they grow in the wild, and they don't get repotted, do they?
No.
They just stay as they are.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
when
in
they're-
a pot though, aren't they?
Yeah, in the
When
wild,
they're
they're
hanging-
growing upside down. Any water on round there runs straight off. The
Yeah,
water cannot concentrate in the crown. So if you was to hose them down, the way we grow them, when you get a bit of water in the crown of the plant, you'll kill it.
yeah. Is I read on, well, I watched a YouTube video and they said rice water is good for it. That's what I've given mine recently, rice water.
I use rainwater. I've got 4 water buckets in my conservatory, and each one's got an air stone in, and there's 30 litres a minute being pumped through the compressor just for the water butts.
Well, this is like as a feed. Like
It
when
just
it's all dry.
keeps the water moving, but you get more oxygen in the water.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'll be able to see, but this is what I use. Seaweed and plant food.
Yeah. Yeah,
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 that's being cute.
from B&Q.
Yeah. That's last a bit. I've got a little bit left. That's it. I'll see if I'm allowed to bring any over when I get over there, but I don't know.
Right then, people. Is
There's
that it?
plenty of videos on YouTube about potting orchids.
Yeah.
If you just look about, you know, especially for Phalaenopsis, you very soon get one.
Yeah, but there's like 50 of them and they all do it different. But the one, that's why I couldn't understand. One said, cut off all the roots to about 10 centimeters, about
4 inches.
4 inches.
Yeah.
Cut off all the roots to 4 inches and leave them on top of the soil when you replant the plant into the soil. The other one said that curl the roots around, put them in between the bark and put the bark in between the roots, shake it. Then one said you'll have a kind of a stem under the roots from the old leaves. You need to cut that off. The
Yeah,
other
that
one
can
said,
rot.
yeah, the other one said, I said, okay, I'm going to ask Andy because I don't know anymore. The more videos you watch, the more different they are. And
Yeah, what you got to do is look at the orchid specialists, because with the internet, there's loads and loads of information and everyone's an expert.
Yeah.
You're not an expert with orchids until you kill so many thousand plants.
The other channel to have a look at, Jeffrey, is a chap named Eric Young Foundation.
Yeah.
And I think he's in Jersey. Or they
Did you
are.
say Eric Young?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been over there. They've got a massive collection of orchids, Phalaenopsis, and stuff like that.
The orchid societies frown, a lot of them frown for Phalaenopsis, but I think they're wonderful. That's how people get started with them.
Yeah.
You get one from a supermarket and they try and keep it going.
Cymbidiums are another one, are they?
But for me, it was just a challenge because everybody, like when you have a shop opening or somebody has a birthday or something, everybody gets given an orchid.
Yeah.
It stops flowering and everybody goes, wait.
You got to blame Lidl for that, though, yeah.
Well, that's what the shops want you to do. They want you to keep on buying more.
Keep
If you
killing them
keep
and buy
them, you're
more.
not going to buy more, are you?
I do.
But there's one I've been looking for and I can't even get it from specialist growers. It's dark red. It's a stunning one. I've only seen it once, and they got it as a present. And there's a picture of it, but I don't know if I've got it yet anymore. The picture, but it's stunning.
Send me that next week, Jeffrey.
Yeah. Okay. And the wine recipe, I'll copy it and send it to you.
Oh, good man.
But it
Okay,
really
then,
is
people.
worth a while.
I'll see
Hope
you
you've
all.
enjoyed it.
That's really sad news before we finish about Steve Chambers, though.
Oh,
It shocked me, that has really.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't
I,
know
I
he was that
expected
ill.
him to be on last week.
Yeah.
Has he gone?
Rest in peace, Steve.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
what
God
was
bless.
actually wrong? What happened?
I
Mick?
told you a few weeks ago, Dee.
I didn't hear it.
He fell into a chopping machine, basically.
The lacerated
Jesus.
machine was somewhere.
Yeah.
Jesus, what?
You wore very
Oh,
well.
bloody hell.
Well, yeah, you very well as well.
Yeah.
All right, True. See you next week.
See you later,
Bye.
Mick, then. Good night,
Thank
all.
you.
Good night, all. Good night.
See you all.